Hey guys, how's it going? So today I figured would be a great day to walk around the garden and see how things are looking now that we've gotten a lot of it cut back. It is actually like 78 or 79 degrees out right now, slight breeze. You can see the little bit of hair I have up front blowing. and Things are blooming. There's beautiful daffodils, there's fresh growth. So many things to be joyous about, and I figured let's take you along. So let me flip the camera around and show you what's going on. So as you can see, garden cleanup is underway. We've got a lot of stuff to put away and weeds that I've been pulling to get thrown out. But I'm just so excited and so delighted to see so many beautiful blooms like these daffodils and seeing the fresh foliage. This is a first edition plant. I can't remember the exact name. I've gotten so bad with names lately, but it's starting to run a little bit. This one, not so much, but it's starting to send a little bit of a runner here and there. Not fast. This is about 3 years into it, and it started to move a little bit. Not far from the mother plant, so they're just going to bulk up and look good. We did get the hydrangeas cut back and shaped up and pulled away from the new shed here. I'll be putting some metal edging in around here and getting rid of that timber, and then we'll be putting pea gravel down and around the base to finish it off. But guys, the mess that is the fire pit area that I have just pretty much given up on, I finally figured out what I want to do. I was sitting there. Why? There's nothing to look at, but I had a bright idea, and we're going to share the ideas in an upcoming video. But I think we have a destination spot finally in mind. I'll pan over here. We do need to do a little bit of a cleanup on the pond, do a water change, but the fish are all out. I think I'm going to add a few more to the group. I want to get some shabunkins, which are the white-based comets with the black and orange speckling. I've always been a fan of those. And they generally have a longer fin on them as well, so those will be really pretty. But the garden is looking really good. Now, I have only managed to do a substantial amount of cutback. I do need to come through and do a lot of weeding. So you'll see like there's dandelions and there may be blades of grass somewhere, but we've also got a bunch of Penstemon digitalis, which is the midnight masquerade, popping up still, even though I deadheaded them last year. So I'll get those under control soon enough, and then we'll start mulching bed by bed as I get them all cleaned up. That's my plan. But things are looking good. If you're wondering what that is a golden duke hemlock, which I'm going to do a little bit of shaping on that this year, now that it's very well settled in. Last year's Isley conifer looking really good. This is Norway Cupressina, the tall narrow. Our willow is starting to come back around, and I don't think I'm going to pollard it this year. I think I'm just going to let it do its thing and see what happens. This juniper, I have found out these are junipers. This one is slowly settling in. There's plenty of new growth coming in, so I expect it to start turning around. Remember, we planted this last year and it didn't look the best when we put it in, but now that it's in full sun, I think it's going to start looking really good. I don't remember, again, if I did, I'm sorry, we're recapping, but I do want to show you some progression. This did get terribly winter bronze, but there is new growth coming out along the stems where it's mostly green. So I'm going to let these continue to flush out, and then we'll go in last minute and give this a shear up and see what we can make of it. Trying to slowly pan for you guys. Grass is looking good. We've been throwing all of the cutback out into the lawn and then mulching it up and putting it back in. We did have one sedum pop out of the cleanup, so I got to get that planted. But our birch trees are coming back and leafing up, which that is exciting. These are the Parkland pillars. We're seeing new growth from the roses. And you'll see a lot of this cut back on the grass. This is Cheyenne Sky Panica from Proven Winners, and I kind of complained about it in the past. I'm sorry if you can hear that dog next door, this house. They are all coming out. I am going to replace them with Shenandoah, which is a much stockier variety of panicum for me. While I'm over in this corner, I do want to show you one other thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to pull these iris, which are it's an orange iris. I'm going to put the name up on the screen because I want to say it's Yuri or something like that. Those are going to come out, and I'm going to bring them over to here, and I'm going to take these 3 Northwind panicums and put them into that section to start bringing up some of that height. I may have to pause this video and start back. We're starting to get a little bit of a mist. Not terrible though. But the garden is looking really good. And I think I'm ready to maybe add some like daffodils or small bulbs to this section of the garden. Because once the perennial's up, this is very, very full and looks really, really good. Our magnolia here, which is a variety called, I'll have to step in. This particular variety is called Cosmic Gem. Sorry, that didn't focus there, but she is loaded with buds. Super, super excited about that. And I'm hoping that she holds off because Tuesday, I'm not sure when you're seeing this, it is a Friday, we are possibly getting a freeze, which crazy. But all of the cutback we've been lining up underneath the arborvitae, so kind of putting the ugly stuff back there, and we'll front it with the nice stuff for the tour. I do need to resituate this pot. It's tilting a little forward, and then I'm not quite sure that I'm going to put anything in it this year. We'll see. Our gold Amber Jubilee. That's what it is. Amber Jubilee 9 barks are starting to come in with that bright orangey color. And then all of my hoops are stacked right here for the time being. But we're gonna focus mostly on what's blooming in here. Everything's looking really good though. I do need to do a little more tidy up around the heucheras of the spent foliage. We have hellebores blooming right now. We have minor bulbs, that is squill, which I absolutely love that bulb. It is a bit of aggressive, as you can see. Here, I'll step in here so you can get a visual of it. It is quite a spreader, but in a good way. The foliage does go from skinny to a large when it's done, and then it flops over and then just disappears. But that blue is just so pretty. And then our sea of daffodils, which is mixed between, I believe this is Dutch Master or Old Dutch or something of that nature. And then we also have some ice follies mixed in. And then I just noticed, I'm gonna zoom in, but we'll get over there and look. Those are blonde anemones. So good. So let's come back here and we'll start meandering back out. Just watching where I'm stepping. We have some random daffodils that ended up here, and then the black foliage of this lunaria, which is called Shed Glow. And this blooms a pink flower on purple foliage, and I grew this from seed. I got the seed brought in from Europe when I first saw it, presented at the Chelsea Flower Show, and knew I had to have it. So we've got some plants over here, and then we have some more plants near the gate. But let's take a quick look here as well. We have some black double hellebores. So pretty, putting on a lot of new foliage, and then we have some more over here along the path. And then we have our first bluebells, which these bluebells were a gift from Erin, the Impatient Gardener. When I got to go up to Chicago and see her, she brought those for a couple of us, and I was able to put them in my garden. And then we have the first blooms of Pulmonaria already as well. This is, I believe, oh, hey, there's a tag. What do you know? Raspberry Splash. Really cool. And then here are the anemones. These were hard to get started a couple years ago, but boy, they're really starting to pop up and really start to take off. You can see there's a couple patches here and there throughout this shadier section of the garden. So pretty. Just seeing the fresh foliage just makes me so happy in the garden, and knowing that spring is coming about. All right, so let's take a gander over here. Not much has gone on. There's a few random bulbs that did come up, and we do need to tackle our patio. There's some spots that have exposed the landscaping fabric, and the dog has decided this is her favorite spot to come out and itch her back. But we are going to be using that rock glue to try it out and see if we like it. If not, then we will just have to deal with it. But the squirrels have already decided they're going to mess up my compost in our containers that we just did in that video. And then some random ice follies that, well, they looked better a long time ago. Maybe we can tuck, oh, I'm so sorry. We can tuck some in the panicum section there. Continuing our walk, I've got a bag of compost out here, and I ripped out one of the boxwoods. It looked like crap, but we have fritillarias popping up, which are always so cool. Now, these are not naturalizing like I had hoped they would. I've got 3 groupings, but they are dropping seeds below and starting to bulk up, so there is some hope. The black mondo grass is looking really great. I just came through and cleaned it up. Now, in its first season of adjustment, there'll be some bronzing in it, or in a really bad winter like we've had, there's gonna be a little bit of dieback, but these perk up really, really well. So I'm really happy about that, and I can't wait to get some mulch around them. What do you think about adding maybe some like bedding flats? Maybe like a black, like a dark leafed white begonia or something like that, or maybe some pink. And then the first signs of thalia daffodils are coming through. And then just an overview of the backyard. It's looking really, really sharp. And there's Marlo. Marlo! As we make our way down the steps here, again, more cleanup and a little bit. The one thing everybody loved in this section of the garden is the bonfire euphorbia. They are starting to come back. I think what happened was I potentially cut them back far too early. I'm not giving up hope on them. I do believe they're going to come back and sprout from the roots. So say a little prayer for these guys, and let's just hope. Quick glance over here. Some more things are going to be happening in this area. Just a little bit of bed definition, and then we got to get back there and get stone put in, so that way we can start moving some stuff out. And then we're gonna go ahead and get the paint, the fence repainted this year. It's been 5 years now, and I don't think we did a great prep work, so we're just gonna have to do this side really to touch it up. Everything else looked pretty good. And then right below we have a bunch of tulips that I planted a few years ago that have been consistent. And of course it's the red tulip that's consistent, that wants to come through. But hey, tulips are tulips. And then actually we have some of the wild type tulips that are down here at the front of the greenhouse, which actually, how is it now? I'm just realizing that we have not cleaned up this section. They have started to open. They were open a little bit earlier today, and these are super adorable. I definitely want to add a ton more of these guys. Super reliable, blooming. I mean, just awesome, awesome plants. So I'm gonna do just a quick little There's the bonfire peach starting to open up, looking really good. I'm not gonna go up that way because there's something that I want to keep as a bit of a surprise until the next video. So what we're gonna do is we're going to head up here and go down the side garden and talk a little bit. Oh, that sounded nice, didn't it? So first and foremost, going into the side garden, we're gonna take these stones out and store them away. I'm not ready to give them up, but they're just not going to work. We're also going to be taking up all of the perennials in this area, anything that was planted. Just potting it up for now until we get situated with what we're gonna move forward with. These are the full speed of hedge arborvitaes. They were just planted last fall, which is not a good time to be planting evergreens. We know that, but it was a gamble I was willing to take, and I only lost one. Not bad. So I'm going to order another one. I get these from greatgardenplants.com. I've worked with them in the past. These were gifted to me. Not going to lie, but there's no affiliate link. There's nothing to it. They're just, I've really enjoyed getting stuff from them. They're really good. But moving forward, you'll see that we have a post here, and then there's another one right yonder. Those are going to be for 2 Japanese maples that I'm excited to get placed in here. And then we also have a bit of an idea for right in this section right here between the Chamaecyparis that's going to come out and this peony that may need moved. Not quite sure, but it's going to be great. I'm really excited about this. Another plant that I have realized I forgot to cut back, which is the Coreopsis. Just get in there with the hedge trimmers, cut it low, and then I'll just take it out. I think I want to take this plant out completely. It doesn't bring me joy, and it's quite aggressive. But all of this mulch will probably get moved around and recovered up with fresh mulch. I want to do leaf compost rather than bark mulch. We'll have to see though. But just an overview of the yard. Our crabapple, which I had full intentions on taking out this year because frankly it looked terrible, is actually looking really good. It's taken 5 years for it to start really doing anything. I do want to ask a question to the crowd. It's probably too late now, but I know water sprouts are a thing with these, and I wonder, should I have taken out maybe these 2 branches? Is there anything that looks abnormal to you that should be taken out? Feel free to hit me up on Instagram if you have any suggestions, or put in the comments something. We can go from there. But I've also noticed there's a bit of an issue in this particular spot. This is the second shrub to that shrub, and what these are is these are pearl bush, lotus moon, pearl bush, beauty bush, I can't remember. I know it's lotus moon, and they'll bloom a white flower here very, very shortly. But you can see there's a lot of like dead areas, and that one was big and healthy, and then completely just out on me. That dog is not supposed to be there. Marlo, come. Ugh. She's actually a really good dog. I don't know why she's doing that. She knows to stay in her yard. But unfortunately, I had to cut that one down, and I see a little bit of new growth here and there, but I'm gonna probably just dig it out. And then I'm thinking about cutting this one down and kind of rejuvenating it a bit, probably halfway. I think there's something wrong with the soil in here. I know that's weird, but something ain't right. Oh, by the way, the arborvitaes are looking really good. They're starting to put on their growth this year. Some cleanup that I'll have to do on one of them, it looks like, down there. Not sure what's going on. Our Monty Blue Spruce is looking really, really good. I do want to say I might have an idea boy, it's getting busy around here, that I may move this to the turnaround bed over here. Hear me out. I have to do this. See how we have the blue spruce right there? That is a fastigiate blue spruce. And then Monty is literally right here. And then right over here, we have the Pacific blue Macedonia pine. It's a very tight triangle. Like if your point was like almost going to the long side, like flat, I'll try to put an image up on screen. I think if I flipped it over into this bed, we'd get more of that triangle. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Now would be a good time to possibly get it moved. Our forsythia have yet to bloom, which I'm totally shocked by. They're actually making a fool out of me. I do see a couple blooms on that one right there. But our lilacs are fully budded up. Golden Duchess hemlock behind that. We have some pink daffodils blooming over there. Just a random assortment of daffodils throughout the area. Our lavender was looking pretty good. I sheared it, and now it's got some areas that don't look so hot. I'm hoping it rebounds. There's a lot of new growth down in here, so we shall see. And then our poor holly, variegated holly, is still alive. There's some black branches in there, but I'm not touching it until I see new growth. Because I have something that's going to go here that's going to be just perfect and is absolutely what I want. Oh, by the way, there's a lotus moon right there. And then there's another lotus moon right over here. They look spectacular, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is with the other one. We'll just do a quick pan of the front yard. Not a whole lot going on at the front of the house there, but we should probably add some more daffodils or some early blooming bulbs. And then I think I have finally figured out how I want to tackle this barren bed that looks like utter crap. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty. Why would I allow this to look like this when it's the first thing you see when you pull into the driveway? So I've got some ideas. We are probably gonna have to build up some soil right here because this area is an extreme low spot and holds water. But we're gonna be tackling that together this season. So I'm gonna manage to make this, show this to you without showing you the big surprise, but we have our Still Be Dark Side of the Moon already coming up. Ivory Prince Hellebore still looking phenomenal. I do need to cut back the old foliage. Some of the daffodils over here just do not want to raise their heads. In fact, I think some of the stems are just crimped at this point. And then we do need to tackle this, but together we're going to look at something because I think we possibly, hold on, let's get this to focus. I think we propagated some yellow twig dogwood. There's new growth showing up, so free plants. Okay, I had to step out of the bed there. We're just waiting on signs of some of the plants, like my, frankly, really expensive podophyllums. There's two of them in here. One of them is exposed. Oh no. That's the one. Man. And then there's one more in this area that I'm waiting on. We'll see what happens. We have starfish and a Deverii. we'll have to see if they come back around. I'm also going to be taking out these two heucheras that don't look so hot and putting in some of the dark side of the moon through here, which actually no, I've already put it through here, so probably gonna leave this room for some annuals. I'm gonna do some funky camera work here, guys, to not show you all of what's going on beside me, but we have some alliums coming up. Abelia is budded up. Our Golden Duke is looking pretty good for the most part, whereas this one looks like crap still, so we're gonna get rid of him, just call it a day. And then gate's gonna slam, wind's picking up. Our Bonfire Peach Tree is looking pretty nice. She's so pretty. Not many blooms this year. Not many at all. Usually the branches are covered, but just not very many this year. And then hyacinths and some grape hyacinth and some old daffodil varieties. Clematis already starting to take off. We're gonna have to tie those in very soon. Just waiting to do that. And then I'll give you one itsy bitsy little peek at what's to come. Some stuff has been delivered, thanks to our friends over at Isley. And this will be going right here. This is the Primo Arborvitae. How freaking adorable. And it's gonna be a perfect little evergreen accent here in the garden. Well, that is gonna wrap up our garden tour today. Everything is just looking so bright and fresh, and I know I've said winter was taking forever and all that, but now I'm at the point where I'm looking around the garden and going, are we supposed to be out right now? Like it seems so surreal to me that we're getting into our gardens already. But I am so excited for this season. I am just excited, excited, excited. Just seeing that fresh growth and the blooms coming on. And no matter what the weather decides it's gonna do at this point, just happy to see it all. So stay tuned. We've got some things to share with you and projects to get started on. I'm so excited for this year, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.